have come from somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the local show here on GrassRoots Community Network. We want to welcome our Facebook Live and YouTube Live audiences. Thank you for joining us, where each week we feature inspirational locals here in the Roaring Fork Valley. And what I mean by that is people pursuing their dreams, having success, and sharing their stories and hopefully their secrets to success. So you guys can maybe be inspired yourselves. I've got one of the most inspirational guys around, a good friend of mine for a long time. I want to welcome back Olympic bronze medalist and the founder of the Chris Klug Foundation. It's Chris Klug, you guessed it.
Hi, Eric.
Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for being here.
I joke that I've got to come on your show to catch up with you. We're both
I know, so busy running
plenty
around.
busy. It's nice to be on the show and have a chance to share some stories.
Well, you're a busy guy between your real estate, Klug Properties, your foundation, your family, your growing family. Well,
that's the most important.
It's probably
That's
grown
the
up.
best part.
It's probably maximized right now, right? At four
My,
Klugs.
my son turned 6 last week, and my kids are growing up before my eyes. It's incredible how fast it's going. So I'm trying to just hold on to every minute right now.
So River, your son's 6,
Yes.
and Bali, how old is she?
She's 8. She's in third
8.
grade.
Okay, I was going to guess
Yeah.
9, but those are precious ages.
Oh, yeah.
I was fortunate to be a big buddy for 2 little guys between 5 and 9 years old.
That's awesome.
Of course, they were both expert mountain bikers by 7.
Thanks to a great coach.
Well, it was just they pair you with these like mini-me's, these little athletic guys in my case. But one guy went off to school and the other one moved back to Texas to be closer to his dad, which was great. But that is such a magical time. So I'm sure
awesome.
you're just grasping it and appreciating it every day and the magic that happens. And you guys just had a wonderful family vacation. I saw.
We did. My son got a new surfboard for his
really?
6th birthday, so he was
Nice.
testing that out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
like a
it's
regular little short board?
Yeah,
or boogie board?
I got
or
him a
what?
5.6 fish.
Okay.
He's been on a boogie board for a few years and stepped
Okay.
up to surfboard. So
Is he standing? Is he
Oh,
like
yeah.
able to?
Yeah.
He's better than me already.
I don't know about that, but he gets a little help from Dad.
Right. Get
Yeah.
some pointers. Well, yesterday was an amazing historic occasion in Aspen. We saw Klaus Obermeyer turn 100 years old over at the Hotel Jerome.
How cool was that?
That was just such an amazing celebration on so many levels. The element of community, ski history, Klaus's energy and inspiration himself, and they were handing out patches, Live Like Klaus.
Yeah.
I like to say LLK.
I had mine on
You
my
have it on your
Obermeyer
jacket.
jacket earlier. So
I have it on my Obermeyer jacket too as well.
I was
but-
rocking my Live Like Klaus AVSC hat too.
and the
yesterday.
hats, Live Like Klaus. But what does that mean to you in terms of the lessons you've gained from Klaus over the years? What does that mean to live like Klaus?
Well, a couple things struck me yesterday. I loved what our mayor Tori said, that it felt like all of our birthdays.
Yeah.
And I really mimic what you just shared. It was a real community celebration.
Yeah.
And so many people in that room that we all know and maybe haven't seen in a little while, but he brought all of us together to celebrate 100. And that's hard to fathom, 100 years. That's incredible. And still enjoying a great quality of life.
Man.
I love what...
I'm feeling it at 58.
47, me too.
42 more years. I'm trying to lop that on top and
It's
imagining
unbelievable.
what that life is.
Yeah.
And then looking back on all that, it's just got to be,
The historic
mind-blowing.
pictures they had in the hallway going into the ballroom at the Jerome were my
special.
favorite. There were so many cool historical shots. And, he's a guy that's been very passionate about what he's done. And as I said earlier, kind of gave us a roadmap on how to live the good life. And I love what Wally reiterated, and I know we've read this, and you've interviewed Klaus many times on this show, and he's shared this with you, but I love how he talks about how challenges in life and how adversity, you have a choice in how you want to respond to negativity, to challenges, to adversity, and he just chooses to be positive.
Right.
And when I interviewed him a couple of years ago on at the Aspen Business Luncheon, he said that. And it's sort of obvious, but it's such a great reminder for all of us. We have a choice how we respond to challenge in our lives. And he always saw it as an opportunity. He made a conscientious choice that I'm going to respond positively.
Right, right.
And Wally talked about that yesterday, complaining about the traffic driving from his ranch as a kid with his father to Aspen to Sport Obermeyer, complaining about the traffic. And Klaus said, well, it's a great opportunity to enjoy the views and nature.
Right.
And that's a choice.
He loves, we were so fortunate to kick off our winter series 2 weeks ago with Klaus, and I had the chance to interview him. And it's been amazing, too, to see the progression over 17 years of interviewing him, over 20 times now. And it's interesting on a lot of levels, but I like how he, referring to what you said, learn to not only let your problems be your teachers, but learn to dance with your problems, which is like a whole nother level. It's like embracing them, learning from them, appreciating the problems and the challenges. And he likes to say we have the wonderful gift of perception. And we can perceive it how we want. We can get angry, and I do. I'm human. We all get our frustrations and anger when certain things happen, and we get set back. But then if you can just kind of look at it objectively, maybe step out of the picture for a minute, then maybe there's a lot to learn there. And we can actually make it a good thing instead of a negative thing. And
I could dance with my problems once in a while a little bit better, that's for sure.
Well, it'd be really bad for me because I can't dance. It would be even more of a problem. So but just so many lessons to be gleaned from Klaus. And what I really appreciate, the overriding feature is the positivity, because the positivity drives everything. It drives his athleticism, it drives his business, it drives his creativity, it drives his day-to-day how he treats people. But that positive attitude is what I really try to embrace and bring in more and more into my life, because I think you just generate more positive if you are positive.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's like what you're attracting.
Exactly. I was just going to say, that's what you attract. But you know what? I like also his philosophy, how he really simplifies it.
Yeah.
It kind of boiled down to a few things for him. He says, I exercise every day, and that keeps my body strong and my mind strong and positive. He says, I don't eat more than I burn.
I was just going to say
said, well, I could subscribe to that a little bit better. I said, I got a little bit of a sweet tooth, and if I would just listen to Klaus's, dietary advice, I'd do a lot better.
Right.
And then, he chooses to respond positively. And I was like, well, those are three pretty basic things that he just boiled it down to really, simple advice.
Simple advice.
That we could all, adhere to.
And he wakes up and he gives thanks. It's not like a prayer or a real, structured thing, but he just give thanks for life. Wake up, he's at his farm or ranch, Mid-Valley, looks around and just gives thanks for all the blessings. Yeah. And I think that also sets the stage for your day, sets up the positive attitude.
Totally.
And then your day kind of flows from there. So if we just have the Klaus's top 3 or 4 or 5 steps, I think that could, be very helpful to all of us.
I did this awesome ninja selling seminar this off season, and they have these Ninja 9 points that you subscribe to. And it sounds sort of silly, but what it's all about is really relationship-based sales.
Yeah.
And the first 2 points were you start with gratitudes, and instead of grabbing your cell phone and reacting to CNN's feed or whatever, New York Times feed,
right,
and that negativity in the morning,
right,
you start with 3 gratitudes, and you say, thank you for my friend Eric for this opportunity this weekend with Summit for Life, for all the transplant recipients and donor families that are going to be there this weekend. You do 3 gratitudes each morning, and it starts your day so differently. I've been doing that for the last few months.
Huge.
Since I did that little workshop, and it was such a simple thing, but such a great reminder. And then I sit down and I write my 3 thank you cards. And I'm not great at doing those, and I've done it, and it's been such a great exercise, and now a habit for me. I've been doing it for weeks. And so I also identified with Klaus and how he starts his day with 3 gratitudes, because I've been doing that, and it's really a game changer.
There's an awesome movie called The Secret, and it's based on the book of the same name, and they talk exactly about that.
Yeah.
And it's about the law of attraction. We bring into our life what we put out. Some people call it karma, good vibes. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to say that. But that's exactly what they talk about. And this is an award-winning author, and he speaks about it. And in fact, there's a thing called a gratitude rock that another philosopher talks about in the movie. He keeps that on his desk or his dresser, somewhere that's you know, a part of his, where he's going to see it. It's visible. And it's a literal touchstone. You grab the rock, it's your gratitude rock, and then you give thanks for your blessings. So it's very, very powerful.
Totally.
So much to learn, but we still got so much to get to. We got a lot of positive things to talk
We
about
do.
for Summit for Life
You're
weekend.
a positive guy. It's easy.
We're going to take a quick break. I do want to thank our winter underwriters for making this amazing series of shows happen, including Aspen Square, Aspen Animal Hospital, Aspen Thrift Shop, the Aspen Times, Klug Properties, Strong Vegan Athlete, which I'm practicing myself now. I'll have to tell you about that, and Sundog Athletics. We're going to go to a quick break. I'll be back with Chris Klug, Olympic bronze medalist, founder of the Chris Klug Foundation, and their amazing event, Summit for Life, coming up this weekend in Aspen, you guys, so don't go away.
Aspen Times, telling the stories that matter since 1881, is committed to local prep sports, arts, and entertainment coverage. They also offer the Drop-In, weekly recreational videos highlighting why we love to live in this community. The Aspen Times, at local newsstands, aspentimes.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
Aspen Animal Hospital offers state-of-the-art services, including non-pharmaceutical options, acupuncture, exotic pet care, and companion care preventative plans. For more information on veterinary services and their foundation, which helps those in need, call 925-2611 or aspenanimalhospital.com.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Curbside recycling is now included with your trash service in Pitkin County. You can reduce your waste footprint and shrink your trash bill by recycling right. Learn more at landfillrules.com.
Celebrating another great winter season, Aspen Square Hotel is the hospitality place, featuring fireplace studio suites and larger condominiums with full hotel-style services in the center of downtown Aspen. Aspen Square is proud to support the Locals Show. The Aspen Thrift Shop welcomes local women to volunteer, serve our community, meet interesting local women, and join the fun at Aspen Thrift Shop twice a month. You can apply at aspenthriftshop.org.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
We're back here on the local show. Thanks for sticking with us, where we've got good friend Chris Klug in the house. And buddy, I think I've been interviewing you since we started the show about 17 years ago, and watching your progression through the end of your World Cup career, actually seeing you win the bronze medal in Park City, which was the 2002 Salt Lake City Olympic Games.
That was fun.
And now your progression since retiring. And what year did you retire? Was that about
2010, after the
was gonna
Vancouver
guess-
Olympics.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And now you've been out.
I figured 20 years on the circuit, living out of a suitcase and pursuing my snowboarding dreams. I was ready to settle down, start a family, and live here full time.
That was a full pull, as they say in truck pulling.
Oh, yeah.
You did the full pull, 20-year career. And just real quick, looking back on that, just obviously an Olympic bronze medal is a highlight, but what are a couple, highlights that you take from your career of over 20 years of racing, traveling all over the world? I mean, some of that adventure must be a big part of that, right? Just seeing all these amazing places all over the world.
Yeah, I
what
get
do you-
to snowboard all over the world and do what I love to do. And I think one of the things I miss the most is a lot of those friends and relationships that I developed on the circuit for 20 years.
Right.
And I love traveling to Europe and Japan every year, and that was great. I really loved it.
So those relationships, some of those amazing places, some of the resorts you were able to see, and then hopefully have fun and
Absolutely
get out and free ride a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's
and I loved
exciting.
being in the starting gate.
Right.
And
that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, and there was always a handful of guys that were really fast and competitive. And there'd be, 50 plus people or 100 people sometimes if it was like a NORAM. But in a World Cup, there'd be 50, 60, 75 that were all good. but there was a handful, a dozen maybe, that were in a position to vie for the podium that day.
Right.
And it was always fun if you were on your game, and the conditions were always different, the hill was always different, the set was always different, and it was like, okay, who's going to be the fastest today? And that opportunity in the starting gate, I loved that. And just all the preparation, everything that went into it, and then you're in the start gate by yourself, and it's like, okay, let's trust our training and do what you know how to do. Turn off the brain and just ride.
Right.
And it was fun to
And
challenge
game
to
on.
challenge yourself at that level. Was really fun.
Well, there's something really exciting and exhilarating about when you're at your top level and other guys are at their top level, and this is it. It's game on, and that's like something about like fulfilling our purpose too. It's really purposeful. It's like you're like doing what you're meant to be doing. There's a lot to be said for that too. Like you're in your flow. It's like this flow zone.
I loved what I was doing, and so it was sort of easy.
Yeah.
And you know, every time I'm having fun, I've had a couple axioms in my life. When I'm having fun, I usually do pretty well at it.
Right.
You know, because I enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work.
Right.
And that's kind of right now. I'm really enjoying the work that I'm doing with our foundation, with Lauren Pierce, our executive director, with Cece.
She's in our live studio audience.
She is here. And I really enjoy working with them and the work that we're doing with the foundation. I really enjoy my real estate business. I love, you know, raising my family with my wife. And we're having a lot of fun doing these things. And
Right.
so I'd like to think we're doing a pretty good job at them, but it's easy because it's fun. And the other axiom for me is I never accomplish anything great without a little bit of risk. And in snowboarding, you had to take some chances to win, and
Right.
and in business and in life, I've taken a little bit of risk too, and it's usually paid off. It's more calculated, but nonetheless, those are sort of two axioms for me in my life.
Okay. Well, the excitement of racing is still here. We've got the 14th annual. We're going to show the T-shirt Summit for Life coming up, and it's actually the Summit for Life weekend.
It is
14th annual. Let's kind of give people an overview of the weekend, and then we're actually going to show a little video of the race itself from the last year's event.
Sounds great.
But can you give people kind of an overview, because this starts on Friday evening?
It does. We've got our Wine and Dine for Life dinner on Friday night at 7908. Roger and his team at 7908 are hosting us this year, and that's put on by the Hofberger family. So that's a really nice wine-paired dinner. We actually sold it out this year already.
Nice.
So that'll be a great event Friday night. So if you didn't get your tickets this year, make sure you do so early next year, because we've sold that out. But that'll be a great night. And that's a little more intimate dinner, nice wine-paired 5-course dinner. And we'll kind of we'll introduce our two Bounce Back Give Back Award winners, Lauren Shields, who is a heart transplant recipient from New York. And she's got an amazing story. She's a heart transplant recipient at a very early age. She got involved after her transplant in advocating for organ donation awareness and really making some changes in New York State on how New Yorkers register. And she teamed up with Andrew Cuomo, the mayor of New York City at the time, and they passed Lauren's Law, named after Lauren Shields. And it required that the question be answered on the DMV form when people go to either get their license for the first time or renew.
Right.
So Lauren Shields will be recognized as our Bounce Back Give Back Award winner this weekend.
Amazing.
Together with Derek Fitzgerald, who's coming from Philadelphia. And he's a 6-time Ironman triathlete, the only cancer survivor and heart transplant recipient that has completed an Ironman. And he was never. What's amazing about Derek is he was never really a serious athlete before his transplant. He had a life-saving heart transplant in 2011, and then ran his first 5K after that, and then started doing Ironman events. And so he's another huge inspiration. And the reason we chose these two people is not only do they have this amazing bounce back story, but they found a way to give back, to help the transplant community, to help those around them, to advocate for organ donation awareness, and to help those people around them and inspire them. And that's kind of what CKF is all about, registering, inspiring, and educating about the importance of organ donation. And that's what these two embody, and so we'll be celebrating them this weekend, introducing them on Friday night at the Wine and Dine for Life dinner Friday night, and then awarding them with the Bounce Back Give Back Awards on Saturday night up at the Sun Deck.
That's incredible. I mean, those are amazing stories,
cool.
super inspirational.
Yeah.
And to see that not only do you go on after a major, organ transplant, but you can thrive. And you're a living embodiment of that. I mean, winning Olympic bronze medal 18 months after your life-saving liver transplant. And so this is very hopeful, inspirational. Look what we can do, you guys. It's going to be okay. In fact, it can be better than okay. It can actually be amazing.
And so sometimes it isn't always. Sometimes there's some hurdles along the way, and maybe it takes time, or maybe there's other complications.
Right.
But for me, knowing that it was possible was the key.
Right.
And today I'm almost 20 years out since my life-saving liver transplant. I'm way healthier, way stronger than I ever was before my transplant. There's nothing I can't do today. And that's such an important message to tell somebody that's going through the same thing I did 20 plus years ago after almost 6 years on a transplant waiting list. We spoke this summer at New Jersey, this fall when we were out in New York, to New Jersey Sharing Network, OPO there, their organ procurement organization, and shared that message. And you can just see people that have just gone through the transplant process going, wow, I can do this. And it's such a privilege to get to share that message.
That's incredible. Well, Chris Klug Foundation has done so much incredible work. Just this last year, you guys had 125 programming days. Mm-hmm. You reached about 2 million people. And we're really looking to help 113,000 people nationwide who are on wait lists for life-saving organ transplants, and trying to get that number obviously reduced, get more people donating. And we could influence up to 75 lives and save up to 8 lives with our own donation. Each person
Think about
has
the
that
legacy
power.
we can have if we're no longer here.
Exactly.
One person can save up to 8 lives, improve as many as 75 lives, as you said.
That's amazing.
It's just by recycling ourselves, we can have quite a legacy and help a lot of people. So it's an incredible thing. I'm here today because of it.
Right, I like to say they don't need our organs in heaven.
They don't. They don't need them where you're going.
Hey, we want to get into the details on Saturday night's actual uphill race, but we have a video that gives a very good story. So we're going to toss to that video, and I think it's last year's event.
Yes.
We're going to check out. Let's check that out next.
What a beautiful night. I'm fired up. This is our 13th annual event, and what a perfect night for it. We're going to do a photo with all of our transplant family members, donor families, transplant recipients, transplant candidates, and support family members and support.
The 13th annual Summit for Life Uphill took off up Aspen Mountain this past weekend to a record amount of racers. Nearly 500 all fundraised and then hiked up 3,267 vertical feet, all in support of life-saving organ and tissue donation awareness. Congratulations to all the racers and those who supported the cause. Among the field were 174 hikers whose lives have been touched by organ and tissue donation, whether as a donor, recipient, or family member of someone affected. Here at the Chris Klug Foundation, we couldn't be more thrilled and humbled by the support shown by this community and beyond to help support the programs that make a difference in saving lives. Thank you to all the volunteers, racers, riders, and sponsors for your generosity, the energy, and the amazing talent that you give for a great cause. Happy holidays, and see you next year.
Live life, give life! Woo!
Such an amazing event last year, and I don't know who that guy was at the end going like this, but
a lot to toast at the top.
So much fun, so much to celebrate. The amazing event, the cause, the race itself. Let's go into some of the details on the event because it's coming up this Saturday, December 7th.
Yes.
And the first wave starts at 5:30, correct?
We only do one
or
start.
just one start?
Yeah, one
okay,
start
that's
at
right.
5:30. For a few years there, we had 2 starts.
Okay.
But it was very challenging to make sure all the times were accurate. And
right.
This way, we just start at 5:30, and everybody starts. I was reviewing some of the times from the last few years, And about the average time is about an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
So you get your
makes sense.
elite level competitors like yourself and
We'll
the
see.
John Gastons and you know, the Brian Johnsons and Max Tams and such that are doing it, you know, sub 45 or sub 50.
Those guys might be. I just try to go sub 1 hour.
Yeah,
That's
well,
a good mark for early season.
Totally.
But
really
we all
strong.
have our goals,
Yeah, and then
right?
you'll have you know, folks that are first time ever and many
Yeah.
transplant recipients that'll do it just under 3 hours. You know, like my friend Michael Wells, who's celebrating 20 years since his liver transplant. He celebrated 20 years just this week. He'll be doing it again and is oftentimes just under 3 hours. So my point is you get ultra competitive and ultra recreational and everywhere in between. But, you know, for me, it's the camaraderie and the fun and everybody coming together. And we call it the kickoff to winter because it's before our town gets really full and we all get very busy. You know, one more chance to get up there and celebrate winter, and we're off to a great one. So lots to celebrate.
And if folks don't care to race or hike up for fun,
Yes.
you know, a lot of people just do it social. And there's, you know, I know there's a team of girls, in fact, based at Obermeyer.
Team
that
Joyful.
Dress up.
Yeah.
Katie Wabi and
Exactly.
and her sister Susie.
They've been
Who,
our,
by the way, I went to Catholic grade school with the Wabashevsky girls.
that's
Catholic grade
awesome.
school in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. But they come in costumed.
Oh,
Everyone's having fun. But I was going to say, people could do the Ride for Life.
Yep.
And ride up the gondola. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you don't have to hike. You can sponsor any of your friends if you want to just do snowed in and hang out at home. You can sponsor your friends that are fundraising and racing, or you can ride the gondola to the top for a great live concert. Our friends at Little Nell are doing a nice pasta dinner, Paradise Bakery, dessert. We talked earlier, Mark Patterson and his band, who's also Paradise Bakery connected. His band will be playing live at the top, and we do a neat little program too, where we'll introduce the Bounce Back Give Back Award winners, Lauren Shields and Derek, share their stories for a few minutes, and do a couple other neat. We have the Michael Wells Award that we present, and then of course our top male and female racers and top fundraising teams. And it's a great dinner, great party, and it's going to be a gorgeous night on Saturday night. I was looking at the weather earlier. I think it's a high of 40 degrees on Saturday and a low in the low 20s. So for this time of year, that's pretty balmy, actually.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be ideal. And that vibe up there, that energy is off the charts. I mean, talk about like, you've got just all these athletes, and then you've got the live music, and then you've got the people riding up the gondola, and everyone's just having a great time. Again, kind of like we started the show, another amazing community gathering and celebration. So that energy's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a huge programming event for us to get our message out there and what Chris Klug Foundation is all about, but it's also a really important fundraiser for us. Yeah. As you said earlier, we've done over 100 events this year all over the country, and this is a national organization really making a difference in the transplant community all across our country. But this is a huge fundraising event for us right here in the Roaring Fork Valley that has made this all possible.
Well, I'm so looking forward to that. So we've covered the Wine and Dine.
Yes, Friday night.
Is Friday night.
Yeah.
The Summit for Life, Saturday night, starting at 5:30. Maybe the competitive people want to get kind of towards the front, and the people want to go a little bit casual.
Yeah.
But you can line up however you want at the base of Aspen Mountain.
I usually start
by the
dead
gondola.
last and drop the microphone and
run up
and head up, and I get to say hi to everybody. So I get the honor of starting last.
People can get more information at summitforlife.org or chrisklugfoundation.org. Both are great websites. Well, we still have a couple of minutes. Let's just talk about the real estate. In fact, we're voted the top realtor, weren't you? Top male realtor in the Aspen Times. So congratulations on that. You got my vote.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure that was the one that put you over the top.
It probably did. Yeah. No, listen,
but congratulations on that. Top
That's
realtor
nice
in our area. And just a little kind of market update for people.
You know, first of all, let me say I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. It's a neat business in this town, and I go home so often, and I say to my wife, Missy, I said, honey, you wouldn't believe who was in my car today. And some of the brightest, most successful people in their fields, and I don't know the first thing oftentimes about their areas of expertise, but I know this community really well and study the market every day and can provide some good insight and advice for my clients. So I really enjoy doing that. And obviously, like you, and I'm very passionate about this community, and I think it's like nowhere else on earth. So I'm totally biased, and I tell my clients that when I go out and show them, I said, listen, I'm an Aspenite through and through, and there's no better place on earth. And I have, a little bit of credibility in speaking about that, having traveled the world on my snowboard, visiting a lot of the great resorts. But listen, this has been a great year for me and my team, but also in real estate in general in Aspen and Snowmass. It's been better than 2018. More transactions in Aspen, higher dollar volume, average sold price is up. What we are seeing is quite a bit more inventory on the top end, above $10 million and above $20 million. A lot of options up there, and I think what's going on is I think some sellers have gotten a little bit overly enthusiastic, and there's not that many properties that check all the boxes that qualify as a $10 or $20 million property, but yet many sellers think that they do. And so that's the challenge that we have is somehow bringing the buyer and the seller together and saying, this based on the comps and the competition and the market trends really makes sense for the pricing strategy for your home. And ultimately, a buyer is going to be looking at the same sales activity and the same comps. So for them, helping them make sense of it too is where we as realtors in the middle often find ourselves.
So you guide them. You're their guide.
Very much.
You're their guide, and you can also share
advisor.
Yeah, the love of the area, and then all
That's
the
a
other
huge part
things.
of it.
This is a lifestyle, so all the things that come with that. So those price tags might seem like, wow, that's a lot of money. And it is a lot of money, but then it opens the door for all the opportunities in Aspen, which is incredible. I mean, just the ski areas alone, I tell people, with no lift lines, that's magic in and of itself.
Of course.
And then you've got everything outside of skiing, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really just it's a lifestyle. It's a great investment.
It's the greatest place on earth.
Right. So, and I would have to argue with Utah. They say the greatest snow on earth. Colorado snow is actually drier and lighter. We have the champagne powder.
When we get it, it's as good as it gets.
So that's a joy. That's a joy to be able to share that. Okay, well, I think we've got most of it, but I want to know what's a new adventure? Just a fun question. A new outdoor adventure you're looking forward to this winter. Anything new on the horizon?
Well, we always sit down sort of towards the end of the year and lay out our goals for the new year with our family.
Okay.
And we love doing hut trips as a family, so I'm sure we'll do a new hut trip as a family.
Oh, fun.
And we always do, a neat new a hiking adventure and also a new camping destination. And those are kind of, with kids, some of my favorite things to do.
Fat biking,
hut
maybe?
trips. I'd love to fat bike more. I need to find a way to get on my bike a little bit more in the winter so I can break 8 hours in Leadville next summer. That's constantly been my challenge.
I'm going to keep trying to influence and inspire you for fat biking.
You're inspiring me to eat too many cookies, which I love. I'm the cookie monster.
But right now, we got to wrap the show. I'm going to give you fuel for fat biking.
Oh, perfect.
And a little gift from Obermeyer as well.
I love it.
Speaking of Klaus and
Thank you,
Obermeyer,
Eric.
did you have fun on the show today?
I had a great time. Thank you
Thank you so much for being
Always
here.
fun catching up with you. Thanks for the
Freshly
goodies.
baked and no butter. So give me the report.
Well, it'll
avocado.
be a quick report here in a second.
I hope you had fun on the show today, buddy.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Good catching
again.
up with you. Thanks for all your support and for joining us this week, and I'm looking forward to a great weekend together.
Thanks for your support. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your friendship so much. And I hope you guys appreciated this week on The Local Show.
Aspen Times, telling the stories that matter since 1881, is committed to local prep sports, arts, and entertainment coverage. They also offer The Drop-In, weekly recreational videos highlighting why we love to live in this community. The Aspen Times at local newsstands, aspentimes.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
Strong Vegan Athlete offers wellness consulting, personal training, and online training. Owner and trainer Ed Troy focuses on safety, balance-oriented agility, and mobility for optimum wellness and to be in life. More at strongveganathlete.com.
Aspen Animal Hospital offers state-of-the-art services, including non-pharmaceutical options, acupuncture, exotic pet care, and companion care preventative plans. For more information on veterinary services and their foundation, which helps those in need, call 925-2611 or aspenanimalhospital.com.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen Snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's Adventure Sports School, is your opportunity to experience one-of-a-kind adventures and gain new skills, to experience the thrills of snowshoeing, fat biking, cross-country skiing, alpine touring, canoeing, mountain and road biking, and fitness hiking. Fresh updates at Sundog Athletics on Facebook or sundogathletics.com.
Welcome to